Hello, my name is Hamad and welcome to Neural Code Day 13. Today we continue our journey. If you are new to this channel, make sure to start from day 1 because all videos are somehow connected to each other. Anyhow, let's start this video. This video is sponsored by Nural. Give your team the only tool they need to perform at their best. It is a team management platform designed for inexperienced team members or new to project management tools. I'm going to use Nural because it is the best out there and it's simple enough for day-to-day tasks. You can get it for free and I will provide the link to this page down below in the description box. And if you would like to upgrade, it's only $99 a month. So let's get started. So today we have controlled flow, but this one is part 2. If we go inside, we will see the topics that we will cover in this video. I know it's a lot, however, it will all be worth it. So let's start with if statement. All right. We have conditional statements. It is often useful to execute different pieces of code based on certain conditions. You might want to run an extra piece of code when an error occurs, or to display a message when a value becomes too high or too low. I don't know. However, to do this, you make parts of your code conditional. And Swift provides two ways to add conditional branches to your code: the if statement and the switch statement. Typically, you use the if statement to evaluate simple conditions with only a few possible outcomes. And this means if you have 1 to 2 to 3 at most possible cases, you should use if statements. Otherwise, it is for switch statement because it's better and suited to more complex conditions with multiple possible cases. And it is useful in situations where pattern matching can help select an appropriate code branch to execute. And for example, in this and in its simplest form, the if statement is look like if and condition. So for example, if we declare a variable, and let's say this is a temperature, okay, and the value of that temperature is 30, and we can say if temp, referring to the variable temperature, is less than or equal to 32. And let's say print it's very cold. Now, this is an example or case where we have only one possible uh, condition. So if you run, we will get, yes, it is very cold. Next, let's see if we have another case where else if temp is greater than or equal to 86, print, let's say the opposite, it's it's really warm. All right, you will get the same idea. It is very cold because this condition is true. Now, this is done, complete, and move to the next one, which is a switch statement. A switch statement considers a value and compares uh, and compares it against several possible matching patterns. It then executes an appropriate block of code based on the first pattern that matches successfully. For example, we have switch, Okay, now it asks for value, but it's you may wonder why it's different than if a statement, because if it asks for condition, where in a switch it asks for value. So the value, let's say it's 30. Okay, now the case is replacing the condition. Let's say it's 32. Let's say, let's copy and paste, it's better. Okay, and then we can add another case 86, and copy and paste, okay, to save time. And then let's have a default value, which is I don't know. Cool. Now let's run and see what we will get. So I don't know, because the value 30, it will check, because in switch, okay, let me explain it a little bit better. In a switch, it will take that value and then will check if the case 30 equals to 32, and it is false, so it will go to the next one. Is it 86? Is 30 equals to 86? No. So it will check for another case, but we don't, so it will have a default value, which is I don't know. Okay, so this is just a basic introduction to switch statement. Let's see another example. For example, let's have a car for character, and let's say character equals to z. All right, and let's check car. Okay, now let's say, is it A? Then let's see, it is Z or no. Okay, print yes, print yes, yes, let's make it different. Okay, and then print it is car. Okay, run, and it is yes, and yes referring to the case Z. All right, it's similar to this, and it's similar to this, all the same. However, as I explained in the first in the beginning, if you have a few cases, then you should go with if statement. But if you have many cases like this, you want to check many, and you should go with switch statement. Now, the next thing is we have is interval matching. The interval matching, for example, so let's take this as an example for interval matching. We have approximate count and count things, referring to moons orbiting Saturn, and natural count as a string. And now we have this example where switch is checking approximate count. An approximate count cannot be changed, so the value of it is 62. Now, is it 0? Switch will check the value of approximate count. If it is 0, the natural count will be no. Okay? The natural count as a string will assign no to natural count. Now, the interesting part is when you need to group or have an interval. Okay? Now, the other case, if it is 1, to 5, okay, which is to 4, the natural count will equal to a few. If it is from 5 to 12, it is several, and so on. The default value is many. Let's run and see. So we have, there are dozens of moons orbiting Saturn. And why is that? Because there are dozens, which is here. So the case that pass is from 12 to 100, and 62 is in between 12 and 100. So the natural count will be dozens of, and dozens of will be replaced in here, and counted things will be this. Okay, it's very simple. You can use a switch and have interval inside cases, so you can, instead of saying, for example, let's say, okay, if you don't do this, for example, you would say, okay, case 101, case 102. This is ridiculous, right? So instead, you can have a case as interval. Very easy. Next, we have tuples. Nice. Now, tuples